Hey everyone, welcome to the Ashes of Malmouth. Today we're starting into our playthrough of the expansion. It's out, hopefully by the time this video is out. I'm recording it a bit early, and I've been enjoying it in the playtest, and I hope you guys have been enjoying it, provided it's released by the time I put this video up. We're going to continue exactly where we left off. So we got our character, Meteor Druid here, and his build is exactly the same as it was in that build video guide I did months and months ago for the regular playthrough. So here's his Arcana side, here's his Shaman side. His gearing is exactly the same. The only difference is I've transmogged it. So he now looks a bit more druidy and a bit more like kind of a learned druid. He's got, you know, a nice coat on, but he's got like the fur collar, the hood. We kind of did a more, you know, study druid type of thing. I mean, I could have maybe gone for the Trojan's vestments, but whatever. The only difference is he has 53 devotion points now out of the 55 total, and all I did with those 3 extra points was fill out a Montauk, Spirit of Winter, and I respect a point out of the Crossroads here and put it here. His last 2 points I am probably just going to dump on the other 2 Crossroads nodes for the time being, or I'll take all 4 of these points and put them on something else just to pick up a little extra oomph. So here's the devotion stuff. Entire constellations. The big thing for this guy is I'm seriously considering dropping the tier 3 things and just filling out some lower tier stuff to give him a lot of benefits. Specifically, the Bard's Harp with Inspiration is amazing. Just getting that much offensive and defensive ability and getting the energy restored and the energy regen, while not really that useful for him, that bonus OA and DA is great. And just the extra entrapment duration reduction and slow resistance is pretty cool too. And it's a good constellation. I've really kind of fallen in love with the Harvestman Scythe, and I use it on 2 characters already. My Aether character and my Spellbreaker. Might be worth picking up for him. I don't think any of the new tier 3 things appeal to me for this guy. And like I said, these 2, they're good, but I don't know that he needs them. And I've kind of been in this, and we'll get into this a little later, this like avoiding the tier 3s to just fill out tier 1 and tier 2 things to get raw stats. But like I said, that's a conversation I'll have as I go through this playthrough. The only thing, like I mentioned, we've done is we've hit up the Illusionist here. Done a bunch of changes to him. And as you can see, we have a bit of experience going because we're climbing to 86. And yeah, the Illusionist has been one of my favorite additions to the game. Just the ability to pick, you know, whatever you want for your look has been great. And the other thing, we have all of these stash pages now. I haven't even organized his like old items. But yeah, we have all this space to work with now. And by the way, this is about half of what I've gotten in the playtest so far. And of course, the newest, again, one of the best additions, just being able to store all of these in your shared stash for all your characters. So let's go speak to Inquisitor Creed at Fort Icon. So, like I said, we're picking up exactly where we left off in the playthrough.
And so our great moment of triumph is soured with tragedy. The cult's
I'll just let this play out.
Arum Ital, Arum Ital, Loith Soler, Loith Vis.
Or it's gonna freeze on me.
This is too dangerous. Need to find another way.
The rift gate! Something's coming through!
Inquisitor Creed. Devil's Crossing was attacked.
Take it easy, John. What's happened?
Some new kind of ethereal. Just smashed right through our defenses. We need reinforcements. We're in bad shape.
I'll send help, but I can't spare much. We're equally pressed here. Loss of Ulgrim to the Void may be more serious than you realize.
Ulgrim is dead, Creed. You must know that. My people need help now. We won't survive another attack.
John,
It came from Malmouth. That thing that attacked Devil's Crossing. I escaped the city with a small group 2 weeks ago. Most died crossing the burning fields. My father was pulled into the bog by cannibals. I had to leave him. I was the only one who made it to Devil's Crossing. Malmouth has been a living nightmare since the Grim Dawn. I was part of the resistance there, if you can call it that. The Ethereals toyed with us, as if we ever had a chance. They let us fight on because they needed us. Needed our bodies for the grotesque things they make deep beneath the city. You think you're safe here, behind your stone walls. But those things from Malmouth will keep coming, and they will find you. And no fortress will ever be able to save you.
a chilling tale indeed. In our fight against the Chthonians, we've overlooked a growing ethereal threat. We must find Ulgrim. But maybe we can aid Malmouth at the same time. You've already done a great deal, but we must ask for your help once again. We need you to strike at the heart of the ethereal invasion, far to the east, in the ruined city of Malmouth.
Go. Get the Nephilim. Oh, we're not doing that. We're not doing the Nephilim thing. Right. We're possessed. Not Nephilim.
I struggle to admit this. You see, the Luminari have long been a witness.
Excuse me. My father and I were part of a small...
Yeah, you guys can, in your own time, go pick up on what they're saying. What the plot is. I'm not here to tell you guys the plot. I want to grab one thing out of my inventory, and that's these things. Potion of Clarities. They're a new item. Once you get Malmouth, the Malmouth Resistance faction, to Revered, you can pick them up. They are a great addition to the game. So before we properly head out, we're going to pop that. As you can see, we get 100% bonus experience from everything. Lore quests, monster kills, everything. Pretty nice. Not gonna lie, pretty nice. So we're gonna go to the Burwich Village Rift. I'm gonna go northeast. Or not. Get out of my way. You're blasé normal ethereals. Get out of my way. You guys are so 2016. Out of the way. I don't know why my game's all hiccupy. We are batting an absolute 1,000 on going through Burwich right now. I mean, we made it. So yeah, you're gonna come up here, blow open this crystal thing, and now we are officially in the expansion area. This is Gloomwald. It looks a lot like the Burwich area for the time being. Trust me, it gets gloomier. So we got our first sort of new enemy. Wendigos, cannibals, man-eaters, wretches. And you can start to see the area kind of shift over into the Gloomwaldy parts more than the Burwitch forest kind of parts. It's been a while since I played this character. I did a little before I actually started this, just to get used to him again. And it's like, oh right, he can sort of play like hit and runny, or you can sit there and channel. So these are just some rovers, including a roving merchant. They don't do much. Now, you may be wondering, James, why are you playing this on this character? Shouldn't you be playing it on like a necromancer or something? Well, I'm going to be streaming my necromancer, my spellbinder. Here's another new item, enemy. These plants. They're sort of turrety plants. When you kill the more flowery ones, you'll get the voracious plants to pop out. They'll basically spew poison at you and just sit there. I'm just gonna follow the path. There are some things to go and explore around here. The main thing we want to look for is finding Garrett Torvin. It's actually been a while since I've done this part with a fresh character, so I actually don't know where he is. Oh, and those guys, they have like a Howard Dean scream when they die. They go like Pah! When they die. It's really, really something. So here's some Ugden Bog cannibals. They're the ones with the Howard Dean scream. So yeah, this is just continuing. Like, I want to have continuity here with this character. Going through with like, yeah, here's Garrett. Oh yeah, plants will just randomly attack you here. You want to pay attention for the stumps.
Please just leave me alone out here.
His dialogue's pretty funny, in all honesty. And I considered redoing the playthrough I have on this channel, because the first episodes are kind of lower quality. Because I just didn't have the software to do really high quality exporting high quality videos. So like half of this playthrough is in kind of almost standard definition, just low definition. And I thought about just redoing it with a necro, but ultimately, I decided against doing that, just for the sake of my own sanity and playing through the game from the beginning again. Like the beginning again. I've done it like 20 times with like level 1 characters. I mean beginning. I don't even mean like the replaying on Elite and Ultimate. I mean, I've just played the game way too many times. We're gonna be back in this area soon. Well, post beating the boss of the expansion, we'll be back in the area. I'm also not going to be as in-depthy with this. There were a few things I missed back in the day in the old playthrough, but for the most part, I'd say I was mostly in depth on it. Oh, right, we need the Caracas Fowl. I forgot about that. Well, I'll ding the upcoming waypoint, and then we'll go back. It is in Gloomwald, if I recall correctly. The other reason for picking this character specifically is it's geared out. That was a misclick on my part. It's geared out, so it's pretty ready to go for everything in the endgame. And I'll point out, you don't actually need mythic gear to handle 85 plus. My Albrecht's Aether guy, as of recording this, my Albrecht's Aether guy still using his Iskandra set. He's level 100. The only thing he can't handle right now are some of the new Nemesis, which he's going to need mythic gear to handle, I think. Just because the armor on mythic gear is higher. I'm trying to remember the way to go. We might actually run into the Caraxes Fowl anyways, because it might be right there. Like I said, it's been a while since I've actually gone through the early parts of the expansion. So your gear you've had this entire time, it'll do you well for oh yeah, these guys can't be frozen. They can't be rooted. I don't even think they can be stunned. It's not entirely bullshit, but it's probably the most bullshitty thing right now in the expansion. There are some monsters later on that tilt me, but if you guys remember what tilted me before, you'll know what the monster is that's gonna tilt me later. There's actually two that do it to me in this X pack. As you can see, we are gaining experience like crazy. That's the other thing. Getting to 100 is actually not that bad. I presently have my Necromancers in the 80s, my Spellbreakers in the 90s, and like I said, my Aether guy is at 100, and I actually leveled him up properly. It's part of the reason I didn't really participate heavily in the playtest. I was mostly using it as prep work for this, is because I didn't cheat anyone except my Necromancer a little bit. But like I said, going through the beginning of the game is insanity inducing for me. Oh, here he is. Crab. He's just a big old crab. Now, there are crabs we can't freeze later on. They're ghost crabs, which is a pretty funny concept. If you remember what this guy's one problem was, it was always having to sit and actually fight. I mean, this is a purple named boss who's unique, so he is going to be a little more robust. He's also a giant crab. Mythic Deadwalker foot pads. I'll start. Oh, and Legionnaire's Pride. I'll stop and look at some of the items that pop up, whether they're new or not. This is obviously new, given it's a 94 with a unique name. These are mythic versions of an epic boot. It's a pretty interesting one. They're either for. So this is a new thing in the expansion. You'll see items that are for 3 classes. So in this case, you can either have a Spellbinder, the Necromancer Arcanist, a Druid, the Arcanist shaman, or I think it's the ritualist, which is the necromancer shaman. And this happens a lot with the gear, especially mythic gear. You'll just see new things added on. Like, the mythic Wraithwalkers are for necromancers. Necromancer Arcanus, spellbinders. I believe that's it down here. We're just going back up top and hitting the road. In fact, that might be a good time to end this episode. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this first foray into the expansion. I'll be back tomorrow with the other chunk of Gloomwald and getting to the Coven's Refuge.